Hi everybody, today I'm going to show you how to pull your bobbin thread at the beginning of your free motion quilting and also at the end of the design. So the first thing I want to do is lower the foot, and then I'm going to lower my needle. So you can either do this with your hand wheel or if your machine has a button. I'm now holding the thread in my left hand somewhat taut, and I'm going to raise the needle. I'm then going to raise the foot. What that does is it opens the tension discs so that the thread can come smoothly. And I'm just going to pull on this a little. If you can't get your hand back there, you can use a stiletto, the blunt end of a seam ripper, whatever you have. And if you pull this a little bit, you'll see the little loop right here of the bobbin thread. I know it's gray, it may be hard to see. And then just pull on it till you get the end of it. You can then pull it through as long as you need. I make it long enough for me to be able to tie a knot. So now I'm going to lower my foot right back on top of where that was, and I'm going to lower my needle. Now I can take my thread tails. You always want to hold them when you first start out stitching, and I'm just going to stitch my design. And now when I get to the end, I want to pull the bobbin thread up to the top so I don't get it tangled up underneath. So the way that I do that is I raise my needle, but I don't want to move my fabric. So I'm going to raise my needle. And then I'm going to raise my foot. I'm going to take my finger or any other implement and pull the top thread towards me. So now I have this loop here. I'm going to lower my foot. I'm going to lower my needle into the same spot. If you have to use your hand wheel to make sure you do that, then go ahead. I'm now going to raise my needle again and my foot. So now I have this loop and I have the thread coming from the needle. I'm going to pull everything towards me. What that does is it pulls the bobbin thread away from the bobbin, so I'm releasing bobbin thread. When I back up, now when I pull on these, my bobbin thread comes right up. There it is. I may have to pull towards me again to loosen it up a little more in order to grab it. I can then take my top thread and cut it so that it's not in my way. I now have a loop of bobbin thread. One of the sides is attached to the fabric and the other is coming from the bobbin. And you can tell that when you pull on it. So in this one, when I pull over here with my right hand, see how it raises the fabric? But when I pull with my left hand, I can feel it coming out of the bobbin. So the side that is actually coming out from the bobbin that you can pull on and make it longer is where you want to trim. Again, I want to leave myself enough area to bury and tie a knot. So I can cut it because this is the side that's coming from the bobbin over here on the left, and I'm just going to cut it. This is the side that's attached. Now, if you watch this thread here, it's going to disappear. So when I pull the sandwich away, watch the thread, it just disappears. And now there it is attached to the bobbin. So now I want to bury these threads. I'm going to tie a little knot in them. And I just simply do this to tie my knot. You can tie it however you want. Now, in order to get the knot close to the fabric, but not right at the hole, you need a little bit of give, about 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch. I just put my needle down here, my hand needle, and I pull on the thread tail. And that makes sure that I have a little bit of room between these two. Now I can simply thread this. I like self-threading needles. I've been using them for years. I think it's a lot easier than trying to thread an eye of a needle. So there's a couple of ways you can do this. One is I hold it in my hand and I put the opening of the needle over the thread and just lift up with my left hand, and it goes right in there. You can also accomplish the same thing if you have threads that are hard to see, like monofilament. I usually twist the two together and then lay it on the fabric. Then I can take, I don't know if you can see this, but there's a little opening right in the top of this needle. I put that on top of the thread and lift up. And again, I've got it. So now I'm going to bury this. I'm going to go into the hole that I came out of, hopefully. If I can, it's hard to see and keep this in the camera view at the same time. I'm actually putting the thread into the batting. I'm not going through the back, I'm going into the batting. I can feel with my hand whether the needle has pierced the backing fabric. If you're more comfortable, turn it over and look to double check. I want to make sure I go through the batting. If you only go through the top layer and you have a very light fabric with a dark thread, it'll show through. And even if you don't have a light fabric, you'll eventually be able to feel these threads up here. You want to make sure it's in the batting, it's sitting in the batting, it'll stay there. Also, if you can put it where you know threads are going to be stitched over it, that will also secure it. So now I'm just going to pull the threads through, and I'm trying not to. You can always feel when the knot goes into the fabric, and sometimes you can hear it. So I'm going to pull. Let's see if we can hear it. I don't think you could hear it, but I certainly could feel it go through. So that is how to pull your threads from the bobbin up to the top to start with your free motion and end your design.